Can't get an Uber yet.
Alrighty, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MLTT week number 3. It is East Division's second time battling, and for many of you, a first time to witness the action live. I will now call in our umpires, Giovanna Tesnezovich and Steve Banko. And now our first team to enter, number 2 team for the East Division. Put your hands together and get your trunks ready for the Florida Crocs! And their opponents, make some noise for your very own Carolina Gold Rush!
It's an extra special Friday the 13th by the beach. Welcome to the Grand Strand here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where today table tennis takes over. And we are set for the second East Coast weekend of Major League Table Tennis. We begin with the Florida Crocs and the Carolina Gold Rush, the top 2 teams from September in Daytona Beach. They collide here today by the beach on the Atlantic, and it is so great to welcome you. Let's take a look at the standings after the first weekend of competition, the East Coast Division. The top 2 teams very clearly were Carolina with 41 points and Florida with 40 points. The Crocs, though, the only team in the league that's 3-0 in Golden Games. Can they keep that perfect streak going? We are about to find out. We're also getting ready to see the top 2 players in the draft going head-to-head. We welcome you to the Myrtle Beach Sports Center. I'm Evan Lepler, and it's great to be back alongside my friend, the 5-time U.S. National Champ, Sean O'Neill. And, Sean, we got our feet wet a month ago in Daytona Beach. Now this is the bulk of the season. How do you expect this weekend to feel different and these 2 top teams go head-to-head?
Well, I think all the players now know what to expect, especially with the Golden Game. Everyone was new to that. But I'm so excited about this matchup right now. We got the number 1 and 2 players going head-to-head right out of the chute.
Enzo Anglais for the Carolina Gold Rush and Daniel Gorak for the Florida Crocs. We're kind of heads and shoulders the top players for their teams in the first Daytona Beach weekend. Gorak dominated in the Golden Game. Enzo Anglais in both singles and doubles was phenomenal. We did not get them going head-to-head on the table a month ago, but we get that today. Handicap the matchup for me.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. Both players have a lot of control, but also power. Look for Daniel Gorak to really move the ball around well, and Enzo Anglais to step around, especially his backhand corner, and deliver very powerful forehand drives.
Enzo Anglais was the number 1 pick in the first ever Major League Table Tennis draft, and all he did in the first MLTT weekend was go 8-1 in singles, 6-3 in doubles, and he also won 2/3 of his points in the Golden Game, but no one was better in the Golden Game than Daniel Gorak, who was the number 2 pick in the draft, and he went 7-2 in singles and also went 6-3 in doubles. So these 2 players are both tremendous competitors, arguably the top 2 players in the entire league, and we get to see this showdown right off the bat. These are some highlights from Daytona Beach a month ago, and it didn't really matter who Enzo was going against, an offensive-minded player or a defensive-minded player. He was effective no matter what.
His angles are so extreme. He really moves the ball around well. Very tough to pick up where he's going, especially when he steps around his backhand corner and plays his forehand attack.
So this is the first singles match we're going to see. When the Crocs and Gold Rush played back on September the 16th, Enzo took 3 games from Mark Duran. Dan Gorak took 2 out of 3 from Roman Lorenz. We'll see Lorenz go against Duran in the 4th singles match here today. But we begin this East Coast MLTT weekend with this titanic tilt between Anglais and Gorak. And quite literally, first place is hanging in the balance because only 1 point separates these 2 teams in the standings as we begin the second ever East Coast weekend for Major League Table Tennis. Big hitting at the outset. Anglais takes the 1-0 lead.
And that's exactly what we're going to have to watch for, is when Anglais steps around his backhand corner to bring out his strong forehand.
Enzo, 28 years old, from France. 2 winners for Anglais. And he's got an early 2-0 lead, taking care of business on his serve. Ball goes into the hands of the 5'10" Polish star, Daniel Gorak. Gorak's on the board.
It's going to be very interesting to see if Gorak can get his offense going. That's the best way to neutralize Anglais, is to get some offense, push him away from the table, and then keep the attacks going. That's a nice play there by Daniel.
So each player wins the first 2 points on his serve. Reminder of the MLTT format. There are 4 singles matches that are 3 games each. Each game is worth 1 point. There's also the 1 doubles match, and both these players will be playing in what will be a true mixed doubles match.
Oh, beautiful backhand step around. Normally players will step around their backhand side to deliver a forehand. That time, Daniel Gorak stepped over to his forehand side to play an extreme angle with the backhand.
So the first point won by the returner. Goes to Gorak. He gets the serve, even 3-all, game to 11. 4-3 lead now for Gorak. Straight to 11, there's no win by 2. That's 4 of the last 5 points for Daniel Gorak and the Crocs. And how about the English that Enzo Anglais threw on that return?
Yeah, he put a lot of underspin. The ball didn't jump out like Gorak thought it was going to. Big whiff.
4-all here in game 1. Anglais attacked with authority on the short return from Gorak.
Both players will mix up the amount of spin on the serve. That time Gorak didn't quite read it. Ball popped up. Anglais put it away.
Going cross court, that inside out forehand from the lefty Enzo Anglais. Nasty.
So strong, just pivots from the backhand corner, and you can't tell whether he's going to go inside out, like you say, Evan, or down the line.
Try to go down the line after a couple good returns on that inside out, and Gorak wins the point.
Gorak did a real nice job of holding the table, just keeping the offense going the opposite direction. But Anglais so strong from that backhand corner.
Anglais goes wide, and it's tied 6-all here in game 1.
Gorak with some great blocks there, just able to keep it going, added a little bit of side spin. But just how he was able to play that ball down the line, very supple wrist, just took it on the inside.
Which player between these two in your mind has the greatest strength, whether it's the greatest forehand, the greatest backhand in this matchup?
I think it's probably Anglais with his forehand step around from the backhand court. As a lefty, it's very difficult to pick up where he's going, and he has such great balance. Out to the wide forehand is really his trademark shot that we saw in Daytona Beach.
His opening game has been tight the whole way. Big point for Daniel Gorak.
And he got to the weaker side that time. He was able to withstand that first forehand by Anglais. Excellent placement to the wide backhand, staying away from Anglais' biggest weapon.
So the 5-time Polish national champion gets the serve back. Up by 2. 2 serves here to really seize control of this opening game. And he missed it long.
Just a little overplay by Gorak. Not that uncommon when you have a player back that you want to hit a bigger shot, but that's the benefit of leaving the table, getting to the mid-court area. Often it'll force your opponent or bait them to overplay.
Anglais opened up the power first and takes both points on Gorak's serve. 8-all.
Huge break back by Anglais. Just great backhand over the table.
Can Enzo continue the rally on his serve? Just an impossible angle that he took right there. And that's 3 in a row for Enzo.
Gorak played a great ball wide into the backhand to stay away from the forehand. Enzo continued just to keep stepping around until he delivered a great forehand.
Four straight for Anglais to set up 3 game points.
This great backhand play by Anglais just keeps it on the table. Again, Gorak overplaying just a little bit right now.
Gorak lost both points on his serve. Last opportunity. These are must score for Daniel. Enzo Anglais with a strong opening statement to begin the weekend here in Myrtle Beach.
I think that just answered your question, Evan. Which player has the bigger shot? Anglais completely dominated with his forehand on the last key points here in game one.
Talk about setting the tone, Sean. I mean, look at that forehand winner to take game one.
No backswing, just jumped right on top of it. Excellent play.
Alex Yang, 46-year-old coach of the Carolina Gold Rush, sitting on a first place position since things wrapped up in Daytona Beach. And Enzo Anglais was really the backbone of that 41-point weekend in September.
And you can see Anglais just continuing to get that forehand into play at the most important times on game point.
Daniel Gorak and the Florida Crocs, and the home team a month ago. Now they're on road turf here in South Carolina. One nothing lead for the Gold Rush. Gorak will serve to begin game two between these top two players. Anglais apologetic, but he'll take the point as Gorak lost the racket on the way, trying to keep that ball alive.
That's a beautiful backhand loop by Daniel Gorak. He needs to get his backhand going. It'll help neutralize the left-handedness of Enzo Anglais because he loves to step around that backhand.
Gorak sails it long. Sean, for those who don't know, if Gorak had made contact with the ball and lost the racket and the ball had landed on the table, what would have happened?
Generally, the rules are that you have to have a racket in your hand. It's always interesting to see what the umpire will do if they'll decide, well, it was close enough to your hand or if it was out, because you're supposed to have a non-playing hand. Well, when you have no racket, you have two non-playing hands. I have seen umpires let it go, but the players know to return it as quickly as possible when there's no paddle on the other side of the table.
Power from Gorak, and he takes a 3-2 lead here in game two. We play all three games to 11, regardless of how the first two go. Four-two lead now for Gorak.
Again, getting that backhand into play is super important for Gorak, especially wide out to the forehand side. One would think that playing to a forehand of the opponent wouldn't be a smart move, but Anglais is so good from the backhand corner. Net serve.
Over the course of the 2 weekends in September, Daytona Beach and Santa Cruz respectively, we saw the same player win the first two games of a singles or doubles match 38 times in 60 total matches. It's about 63% of the time. What a return from Gorak.
That was a finishing blow right off the serve.
Is there something about the serve that enabled him to take such an aggressive?
It was probably a millimeter too high, and it was just enough for Daniel Gorak to go for the full backhand. We sometimes call it a banana flip. Put the racket over the table and just use a lot of wrist.
A millimeter too high is what you said.
Yeah, when it gets up there, it's such a fine line. And you can take a full swing without the table being in your way. That's why this backhand flip especially has come into practice internationally.
Six-3 lead now for Gorak after Anglais won the opening game 11-8. point for Enzo. And he's got 2 serves coming up to try and get this back even. Angles, he include the Game 1 win today. Now 9-1 in singles, Major League Table Tennis. Fulfilling the promise that Alex Yang expected. Did that catch the edge?
It
yes.
certainly did. You could see Daniel Gorak raising his hand quickly.
Why is he apologizing for the perfect shot?
Just wanting to make sure that everyone saw it.
Gorak now up by 4 here in the middle game, opening singles match.
Gorak able to play that ball from the middle of his body and just redirect it to get a 4-point lead here in game 2.
Everything working right now for Daniel Gorak.
Both players just bringing bombs left and right. But Gorak able to stay up at the table. Just play one more ball into the backhand side.
Angles with a quick flick of the wrist right there to backhand that winner. 9-5, Gorak leads. 2 serves here for Angles. Gorak within 1 point of taking it. And we're even 1 game apiece between these 2 top-tier stars. 11-8 for Angles, 11-5 for Gorak. And there's an interesting kind of subdued atmosphere, particularly amongst the teams. I mean, a month ago, Sean, after every point, big moments, the benches were going nuts. Kind of a slow, calm feeling as we get this weekend going here in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I think with the 2 top players playing, the teammates don't want to overdo it. They don't want to make it feel like they've got more involved than the players. They want to give them a little bit of space to breathe and get their game going. But what's really nice, because this is a team event, more than one person can coach. So instead of just the coach, there's Frank Aries coaching. Other members of the team can chime in, say if they see something that makes sense. It could be a tactic, it could be a ball position. But right now, Daniel Gorak has been on fire the entire second game from start to finish.
Well, the thing about Gorak, we talked about it at the top of the show, his golden game dominance was really the story of the weekend in Myrtle Beach. I mean, without him, they don't go 3-0 in Golden Games. That's an easy statement. He won 80-something% of his points in the Golden Game. These are some big points coming up here. Rubber game between Angles and Gorak. Here we go. And a good start for Angles, a serve that fooled his opponent.
That ball just came off the edge of the table. Gorak wanted to get that backhand into play, but just overstepped it a little bit.
Two 2-0 lead for Carolina.
And the body language on Angles is completely different from game 2. You see him turning, looking back at his team. A lot more forward thinking, trying to get his offense into play.
Astonishing defense from Angles, and he wins the point.
How he was able to chop that ball back is just incredible. He didn't go for the lobs like most players would go. He just went for a forehand side spin slice and brought it back. He even got a smile himself after that shot.
Gorak recover? I mean, Daniel Gorak had to feel that he should have won that third point of the game multiple times, and now all of a sudden he's down 4-0.
And it's such a tough thing as a player not to replay that last point during the next point, knowing that not only are you not on the board, but you should have been 2 points closer, and now you're trailing 0-4. And look at that block by Angles, just firing on all cylinders while they change ends at 5 points here in game 3.
I'm so glad you mentioned the body language, Sean, because you pointed it out just after a couple points, but I mean, you don't want to overstate how important that is. The vibes that you're giving off to your teammates, to your opponent.
All the experienced opponents are reading that as much as they are the serve, the loops, the returns, everything.
6-0 for Angles.
And we're at a point right now where I don't even think a timeout would make a difference the way Angles is playing. He's just landing everything in the backhand corner, neutralizing the serve returns with some nice drop shots. Gorak needs to do something different to get on the board.
Caught the net and sailed wide, so Gorak is on the board, 6-1. Still a long way to go, though, for the Crocs.
The one thing you can be sure about Daniel Gorak is he's not going to rush. He's going to take his time. That's his style of play. He likes to keep the ball on the table, doesn't do flashy shots, but just very well-placed balls. A lot of spin.
Service error from Angles opens the door here. And a timeout taken by Alex Yang. Not wanting to let Enzo let that service error impact this next point.
And this is an offensive timeout to make sure that this game doesn't get any closer. Coach Alex Yang would love to keep a 3-point lead through the next 4 points, go up 9-6, 10-7, but not letting it happen at 6-5, where extra momentum would be.
Sean, let's go back to the defensive point that Enzo played early in this game.
So he got off the table. Now, normally you would lob here. He throws up that lob. Now he's chopping the ball back and somehow curved it on, which makes it very difficult to smash or to kill because you're not sure how much spin is on the ball.
What about the decision Enzo makes to backpedal after this shot here?
Yeah, he's giving up the table just hoping that there's a chance that Gorak will hit off the table, but then he made it, so then he went for that crazy side spin forehand chop that really just came over with a lot of spin.
All right, let's see if that timeout makes a difference here. Angles coming off the service error. Last 3 points for Gorak. Big forehand exchange, and Angles fired up after hanging on for dear life on that battle, 7-3.
Both players playing awesome shots back and forth. Gorak a little bit in the driver's seat, but Angles just hung in there and made one more step around. Oh, that's a beautiful play by Daniel Gorak, just taking his time, picking up the ball that comes off the side of the table and gets his offense going.
Another unreal effort from Enzo Angles.
How he's able to do that from the backcourt, I do not know.
And he's going on offense from back there.
Yeah, and he's playing it with his backhand, which is the weaker of the two sides, just going for broke. Somehow just pulled that backhand and then stepped around from 18 feet back.
He jumped in front 6-0. Gorak had a chance to make it 7-5, instead 8-4. Miss hit there. 8-5. One more serve for Angles. Tell you what, if Gorak could win this point on his serve, he'd be right there.
Exactly. Nice
serve.
Yeah, deep serve. It wasn't the traditional short serves that Angles has been doing, which has allowed Gorak to go over the table with his backhand serve a little deeper. Gorak unable to pick the ball up.
Angles 2 points away. And it'll be game point for Enzo, up 10-5. Misplayed by Gorak, puts him in a very deep hole here against the #1 player.
Oh, those are great backhands by Gorak. Just taking monster forehand drives and turning them right over.
Game point at 10-6. Big toss. Great table tennis from these two superstars, but Enzo Angles superior in this opening singles match as he takes 2 out of 3.
And just tremendous attacks from both players. Gorak with a wonderful backhand, but somehow Angles runs it down. A little bit of a chop there on the backhand side, and Gorak goes for too much, just nets the final ball.
I've heard from locals here that you played some of these guys in tournaments before. Watch this. So we've got more matches to come.
Angles takes game 1, 11-8, and then takes game 3, 11-6 to earn 2 points for the Carolina Gold Rush. Enzo joins us now. Enzo, congratulations. We were disappointed in Daytona Beach that we didn't get to see you and Daniel play 3 games. What was it like finally getting to go against Florida's top player and having a battle?
We know it will always be tough because he plays really good and he has really the game to give me a lot of problem. I was not feeling so good today actually since a few days, but it's okay. I have to do with what I have actually and fight for every point like I did before already and like I did today. It was a difficult second set, but after I could catch back and find more solutions to be able to get 2 points at the end for the team, so it's good.
And Enzo, how do you develop that great touch to be able to do those chops from the backcourt, not only instead of lobbing, but during the fast rallies?
I think it's anger inside me, somehow. We can find the motivation where we want, right? So, but no, I developed it a lot when I was a kid because the goal is to play, right? It's a game. So we have to play with the ball and we have to enjoy it. So that's how I play the best, and that's how I enjoy also the most.
Enzo, in that third game, you get off to a great start. You go up 6-0, and then 6-3. You have the service error, and your coach takes the timeout. What's going through your mind after the error, and what did coach say?
No, I mean the timeout was made to just not going too fast and not letting the point going too fast. Inside me, I didn't really want to take the timeout, but I knew it was a good choice, so I breathed, I accepted, because if you take a timeout, it means that you're in danger, right? So I was actually in danger, but it's because there was like 3 points going very fast. So that's why the timeout was quite important.
Well, excellent composure out there. Well done. Good to see you back on the table, and look forward to seeing you in the Golden Game in a little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you, Enzo. 2 out of 3 for Enzo Angles over Daniel Gorak in the match that we were all waiting for, Sean O'Neill. And I mean, we didn't get golden point, we didn't get something down to the wire, but that was really high level of table tennis, and a 2-1 lead for Carolina. Now we see second singles. Ojo Onaolapo, the Nigerian sensation for the Crocs.
And he has power. Look for him at every opportunity to get this forehand in both directions. Another lefty that can play a strong forehand from the backhand court.
And what about Kai Jong? He played so well down in Daytona Beach. In singles, he went 5-1. and just really dominated with the backhand, which surprised you.
Yeah, I think it surprised. He said it didn't surprise him. It surprised me a lot because I know how big his forehand is, but his backhand was landing. He was bringing everything in Daytona Beach. His forehand smash was great, but often once he played one easy ball, here came the backhand rip both into the middle of the court and into the wide backhand. I think right now he is one of the X factors for his team. Can he bring that same level of intensity that he did in Daytona Beach? But he's going against Ojo. Ojo's got some forehand.
Yeah, both of these players, I think, you could call them X factors for their teams, and excited to see how these two square off. Again, when the Crocs and Gold Rush played each other in September, Kai Chong took 2 out of 3 over Benjamin Brossier. Saw that in the highlight. Well, now Olapo serves to start. And a good backhand winner for Ojo, who took 3 straight games from Jeremy Hazin in September when these two teams squared off.
I wouldn't expect a lot of long rallies in this match because both players have so much firepower. Ojo, with his forehand, really does like to play inside out and out to a right-handed player's forehand side. And there's a backhand in the opposite direction. Kai loves to play his forehand all over the table, but as we saw in the last meetup, his backhand is lethal.
Before the match today, for the team match, I was chatting with Adam Bobrow, also chatting with you. And you and Adam had conflicting picks for who's going to win this match between Kai and OJ.
That doesn't surprise me. Kai plays out of Los Angeles. Adam known for his Los Angeles roots. And I just know Ojo, he also recently relocated to the Houston Table Tennis Academy. And he's just bringing such good energy. His forehand is so strong, no hesitation. That's a beautiful shot right there.
6 straight points for Ona Olapo to start this game. Chance wants everybody to know that he picked Ojo. Adam picked Kai.
The way I figured it out was who would I rather not play against? And Ojo has a style as a lefty with such big power on the forehand. There's nowhere to run, so not a tough call there. And I don't have Adam's snake, so that's one of the other issues.
Kai's on the board. But he overcooks that forehand, and all of a sudden he's down 7-1 here in game 1.
There's the backhand by Kai Chong. Wow. It's going to need to make about 9 more of those.
Just missed that forehand wide. Ojo Ona-Olapo one step closer to a game 1 win.
Again, look at the body language of the two players. Ojo in between every point, stepping quickly in place, looking forward. Kai looking at his racket, trying to figure out what's going on and how can he stop the Crocs.
Oh, there's a good break for the Gold Rush.
When in doubt, get a net ball. Just let it dribble right over.
Game points now for Ona-Olapo. Kai Chong not done just yet.
Ojo surprised that Kai was able to return that ball.
Three in a row now for Kai Jong. Couple serves for Ojo to try and put this opening game on ice. Both these players went 5-1 in singles a month ago. Oh, Jong still alive.
That was a thank you very much type of jam shot there. Just right into the body and just hit a little bit of a whippy shot to come within 4.
And all of a sudden, it was 10-3, Sean. Now it's 10-8. 5 straight points for Jong. I wonder if Frank Arias would think about a timeout here.
I think he'll save it. If it gets to 9, possibly.
We're at 9. It's 10-9 from 10-3. It's a 6-0 run from Jong when it looked like Ojo was a shoo-in to take this opening game. Still gain a point though. And Jong missed it, so Ojo hangs on and takes game 1. Hang on a second.
So it looks like the umpire is saying that he tossed it instead of from the center of his hand, from his fingertips, and they're replaying.
My goodness. But he lost the point.
The umpire is saying that he called it before.
Oh, there's justice.
Yeah.
Ojo Onaolapo takes game 1.
And Kai actually served a back edge, and Ojo somehow was able to pick this ball up off the edge and keep it in play, forcing a loop into the net.
Feels like Ojo won that game twice.
Exactly. So again, Ojo not only had to replay the point that he won prior, which was an umpire calling a let for not tossing the ball correctly, but then picking up that last shot on an edge serve on the backcourt, back line. Sometimes when you're down by a lot of points, it's easy just to throw caution to the wind and just make big shots. We saw Kai make a couple crazy shots just to get back into the game.
Game 2 right now. Just a reminder of the competition format: 4 singles matches, 3 games to 11. The doubles match as well, 3 games to 11. Golden game, 1 game to 21. Golden game worth 6 points. Game 2, Jong and Onaolapo. Ojo takes the opening point as Jong sends it long. That caught the edge. 2-0 lead for Ojo, winning both points on Kai's serve.
Just really jumping out, going offense directly off the serve. That was a risky shot.
That caught the edge. And we're tied 2-2 here in game 2. Also tied 2-2 in the overall team scoreboard for the team match. Deuce is wild right here. Jong wins that point on his serve.
Jong looking a lot more comfortable here now in game 2. Moving the ball around, getting some attacks going without going for just kills.
What can you say about the confidence that I think both these teams and both of these individual players, Jong and Onaolapo, entered with today after what happened? I mean, they both went 5-1. Their teams had success a month ago.
Well, I think because they haven't, this might be the first time they've played each other. So there's still a lot of caution, not really sure what to expect, but both players have such big forehands. They know they've got to get the forehands to land if they're going to win.
Net cord winner there for Ojo.
5-4.
That's a big point. Instead of 6-3, it's 5-4. One more serve here for Zhang. And a service error. Just like that, the net cord winner and the service error, and we're tied at 5s.
And sometimes the players are thinking to themselves, keep this serve short, don't let it go off the end of the table, and then you just keep it going 1 inch too short, and you net it. That's a great forehand step around there by Ojo.
5.
Able to seize control of that point first.
And just straight down the line to the backhand.
Nothing Zhang could do. But Kai shows off the backhand response.
That's a relatively new tactic in table tennis, to run around the short forehand. Use your backhand because it creates more angles, especially cross court. Tougher to judge where the ball's going. Also, you can use your wrist a lot better.
When you say a new tactic, is that something you never would have done back in your day?
It started from a player from Czechoslovakia named Peter Korbel, and later became the banana flip because of his ability to play backhands both in the middle and on the forehand side. So he's credited with it, but he was doing it in 92, 95-ish. There's the exact same thing by Ojo. The problem when you do it is you leave your backhand corner open, so you have to have great footwork or super placement so that the opponent doesn't know where you're going with the ball.
Ojo an 8-6 lead. 9-6 now for Ojo Onaolapo.
That's just good offense right there. Quality short serve, wait for the ball to come off the end of the table, then deliver a very strong forehand topspin.
Just he is in control here in game 2, Sean.
Ojo's just found his rhythm, playing both forehand and backhands, especially over the table surface.
Kai Zhang saved 6 game points last game, but he won't save any this game. And after falling behind early in game 2, Ojo Onaolapo dominates from there on out, closes on an 8-1 run.
And this situation right now is almost like a doubler. With Ojo up 2-0, can he get the full 3 points, or does Kai Zhang fight back and make it only a 1-point lead from this 3-game match? Looking at the two players right now, Ojo sees the opportunity. Kai right now doesn't look too pumped up, more what's going on. You can just see Ojo getting his game going so well, picking the ball up, looping behind his head. This was to end game 1.
So every single game matters. Your very own Kai Zhang will be fighting here for this one. I know you're watching.
So much power by Ojo.
Time.
So Ojo Onaolapo now 7-1 in singles matches in the MLTT. Crocs take a 3-2 lead overall. And obviously this is the first time today that we've seen the same player win the first 2 games. We saw Angles and Borak split the first 2 before Enzo made it 2 out of 3. Here's game 3 for Onaolapo serving. And a quick 1-0 start.
I mean, so solid. That's just textbook third ball attack. Serve, get a weak return, drive it for a winner.
Oh, great forehand from Jong to catch the corner.
I thought that was Ojo's point just as quick as the first one, but Jong somehow got out to the forehand and took it down the line off the bounce.
Sean, we saw two very different phenomenons in the first two MLTT weekends in terms of when a player went up 2-0, in terms of how often they closed out the sweep. 2-2 now here in game 3 between Ojo and Kai. In the Daytona Beach weekend, players split the match swept the match about half the times they had the opportunity to do so. But we saw a good amount of players down 0-2 battle back and win that third game. Whereas in Santa Cruz on the West Coast, there were 16 instances where a player went up 2-0. 13 out of those 16 times, it became a sweep.
I think the difference in player level was slightly higher in the coaches, how they matched them up in Santa Cruz. And the East Coast, where we are right now, is just so loaded with full-time professional players. West Coast has some college students. They've got some U.S. national team members, players of all different levels. So once somebody goes up 2-0, it's almost like they're putting the nail in the coffin. Here, the players are just fighting all 3 games, taking each game like its own match. I think that's what Benjamin mentioned last time. And again, we had Enzo and Daniel go out. Not a surprise that they split the first 2.
Good short rally there.
I could have told you what was going to happen when Kai put that last one up just a little bit too high.
Yeah.
Ojo has no problem going over the table with that big forehand swing. So fast.
Open the door for Ojo to smash that winner. Hard to believe that Ojo Onaolapo was a 7th round draft pick for the Crocs.
Credit Frank Aries as the Croc of grabbing Ojo when he did.
He's 5 points away from improving to 8-1 in singles. He also won 9 out of the 15 Golden Game points he played in Daytona Beach.
He's delivered big time. And again, look at the forehand. So solid. I know his new home base in Houston is cheering for him.
Is this the best you've ever seen him play?
Yeah, but he played great in Daytona Beach as well, so he's just kept the Crocs chomping.
4-7.
Rare error in this match for Ojo Onaolapo. 7-5 as he goes to the towel. 12 points into this third game. Doubles up next. We saw Enzo Anguez take 2 out of 3 in singles from Daniel Gorak. It'll be a mixed doubles match. Hong Lin with Enzo. Matilda Ekholm with Daniel Gorak. A service error from Ojo. Again, leaves an opportunity here on the table for Kai Jong.
Giving up the forehand serve to go to the backhand. But he goes for a deep serve and a quick step around.
What a gutsy point that was.
Very gutsy. Instead of the short, delicate backhand serve to set up a short game, he went deep into the body.
Nothing conservative about that style.
No, that was going for it.
Went for it there too, though. Overheated it. 7 serving 8. Eight all.
And Kai is just taking his time, almost reeling Ojo in one by one. Not going for too big of a shot, but just keeping it on the table. Again, going to the backhand serve. Look for a short serve this time. And then an overplay, catching the net. You can just see Ojo looking all around saying, what do I need to do to make anything land?
It certainly felt like Ojo was inevitably going to sweep this, and all of a sudden, Jung's within 1 point.
I mean, this is going to be a huge... We saw it happen to Jung in Daytona Beach, where he took the first 2 against Benjamin Gracier, and then Ben came back.
Yep.
Kai doing the exact same thing.
That's a big point. His point for the moment. Keep his team in first place. Overall standings. And that'll do it. Kai Jong coming from behind after dropping the first 2 games, takes game 3, 11-8. And we are even 3-all through the first 2 singles matches between these 2 powerhouse programs of the East Division.
And looking at Carolina's bench, they are thrilled right now to steal that 3rd point with Kai coming back, just really keeping it on the table, giving Ojo nothing to work with.
So John takes game 3, but Ojo still earns 2 points for his team, and Ono Alapo now 7-2 in singles in Major League Table Tennis. We're joined now by Ojo. I imagine you're disappointed with that 3rd game. Let's talk about the first 2 games first. What was working well for you against Kai that enabled you to get out to a 2-0 start?
You know, Kai is the kind of player that we have played twice before in the past. He beat me. Then this time, just like, okay, just put every ball on the table, just let him do his thing. And everything that I'm doing is working for me, especially my backhand service. So I just keep the momentum going like that.
So when you were using your backhand serve, how risky or what big of a chance do you take with the big deep serve? I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah, you know, I've played with a lot of Chinese before, and I know that they don't really like a good backhand service. I'm just like, okay, let me just play your backhand service and just ready to attack, because I know he's not going to do so much with my backhand service. He's just going to push it back to me. Then I know if I attack first, there's still no chance. So I just keep it like that.
What were the thoughts running through your mind as game 3 wrapped up and you let that one slip away?
I don't know. I thought I just lost focus. So I think I just lost focus.
Well, maybe you'll get another shot at him at the Golden Game. You were a guy that seemed to really thrive with the Golden Game energy a month ago in Daytona Beach. Why was that? What do you think about the Golden Game?
You know, Golden Game is just a 4-point, and everything is just 50-50. You know, just have to attack first, and your opponent might be shaking. You know, just have to know, put everybody on table in the Golden Game, and let's see what happens.
All right, Ojo, stay positive. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. We'll see you in the Golden Game in a little bit. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Ojo Onaolapo, member of the Nigerian national team, now lives in the northeast of the United States, and he gets 2 points for his team leading into the doubles match. We are even 3-3 so far in the team match, and look, we expected this to be close, Sean. These are the top 2 teams in the entire league. Number 1 and 2 in the East Division, number 1 and 2 in all of Major League Table Tennis from a points perspective. And here's Gorak and Ekholm against Angles and Lin. It's a rematch of what we saw in Daytona Beach with Gorak and Ekholm taking game 1, but Angles and Lin took games 2 and 3. Enzo to serve first. And the opening point goes to the Crocs. Chatting with Frank Arias before the team match today, and he said we made some tactical adjustments in doubles. You think it'll pay off? What are you most looking forward to with this doubles match?
I mean, they're very contrasting styles with the Crocs with Daniel and Maddie, and a nice righty-lefty combo, playing with a lot of spin. They like to keep the ball on the table, move it around. Whereas with the Carolina team, with Angles and Lin, they want to finish the point. They want to put it past their opponent as quickly as possible. And again, a righty-lefty combination. So look for a lot of attacks. There's a let there. Just the umpire reminding, do not toss the ball backwards. It has to go straight up. I don't think Daniel agreed with that.
Gorak gave him a little look. Although it looked like that toss went backwards.
From the angle that we're at, it's going to do that every time. That's why you have 2 umpires, to hopefully make sure that it doesn't move more than a 45 or a 60-degree angle. And that's a beautiful play by Matilda Ekholm. Just taking her time, redirecting. Nice down the line forehand loop.
Third ball attack there from Anglaise.
And in mixed doubles, that like we're seeing here, it works just like in singles. Quality serve, slight pop up, teammate just finishes the point. Oh,
Much more aggressive return though.
Great pickup by Matilda Ekholm. Her experience playing in the Olympics for Sweden, being a national champion, just being a full pro player. Any ball that comes off the end of the table, she is going to just loop it for a winner.
Ekholm 9 times was a Swedish doubles national champion. 7 times was a singles national champion. Gorak sends that one long.
And Anglais goes right over the table again. We've seen these backhands just blistering the ball back off the short serves.
It's interesting comparing the West Coasters and the East Coasters. I mean, you think about the energy that we saw from guys like Nikhil Kumar and Nandan Naresh, and some of those youngsters that really brought celebration to the table after every point. I mean, a guy like Enzo Anglais, he's in his late 20s. You just see the focus in his eyes every point, but you also see what it means to him when he wins a big point, when he hits a good shot. He has a determination and a fierce competitive spirit that he brings to the table every single point.
Yeah, he really plays on a lot of positive energy as well, just like Nikhil Kumar, the current U.S. men's singles champion. Using that energy not only to pump yourself up, but to also send a slight message to the opponent. Like, hey, you see what I just did? I saw it, but did you see it? And again, the East Coast, a lot of experience, especially from the European international players on the teams.
Hong Lin to serve with an 8-4 lead.
Another good return from Ekholm on the Lin serve. Anglais wanted to be aggressive with it, but didn't have the right angle.
Yeah, and Ekholm doing a nice job of mixing it up, both the short returns, but also the deep pushes. And that's a great forehand smash by Hong Lin. Very complimentary to Enzo Anglais' forehand topspin. Oh, that's a deep, fast push by Anglais. In doubles, you know where the serve's going because it's always the right-hand court, cross court.
Game point. Crocs still alive. Serve going back to Anglais. He'll be serving to Gorak.
Anglais with a rip winner to take game 1 in doubles, 11-6.
Just one great shot after another. Both teams adding a lot of power. Lin with the quick forehand hit off the bounce. Ekholm continues with the attack, but Anglais one more step around.
Didn't think it was a bad shot by Ekholm by any means, but just the angle, knowing that Gorak had to return it.
And it spins Anglais completely around back to the table. And these two mixed doubles teams, if they were to play in the U.S. Open, it would not surprise me if one of them won it. They are that strong. Great styles complementing each other. Carolina with a hitter spinner, and then the Crocs with their off-the-table heavy spins.
Each team has a righty and a lefty. And we see the pen holder in the form of Hong Lin,
Just a different dynamic and variable to factor in. A lot of experience with all four of these players, obviously.
Yeah, I would say that's the biggest beauty of this match is they win a lot of points by not just hitting it hard, but hitting it to a good location, choosing when to attack, when to use finesse. Always fun to watch lefties play because they create angles almost out of nowhere.
All right, let's see if the Crocs can score the equalizer here. This Florida team, 8 players from 8 different countries. If you include the coach, they have players from 9 different countries on the roster. It's a worldly group and a 1-0 lead for the Crocs here in game 2.
Great forehand flip by Daniel Gorak. Again, placement is key in doubles. Can't just play it hard. Of course, the order will change in game 2, so it's not a surprise if games are a little bit lopsided in the first 2. Third game, they'll change it 5 points so that both sides have the same order amounts.
It's a good serve from Hong Lin right there.
Oh, what a drop shot. Ekholm unable to run it down. And again, Anglais with a little change of pace, faked the short return and then took it down the line at the last second.
Oh my.
Anglais getting a little bit of a spin around there.
Handcuffed by that forehand from Dan Gorak. 3-all here in game 2. Anglais to serve.
Very smart placement by the Crocs, just jamming it into the traditional backhand corner.
Also forced Hong Lin to go to the other side of the table.
Yeah, with a righty-lefty combo, you make them play the forehand from the far side. Often they'll crisscross.
Okay, come on. 5, 3.
Come on.
That time Ekholm changed the spin on the serve a little bit, then played it deep and off the end of the table. The ball just caught the top of the net. Ekholm would like to have that one back. She knows it was the right shot, just got ahead of it. Oh, that's a very difficult ball to return. Ekholm brought it up from almost the floor with a lot of side spin.
Got a little help from the net too.
Yep. Ball went straight down. And again, Ekholm mixing up the spin from the backcourt.
And it was interesting. Anglais had a chance to be super aggressive, and he kind of laid off and let the point continue, which allowed Florida to counter. Crocs with an 8-4 lead here in game 2. 3 points away from tying up the doubles match at a game apiece. Tying up the overall team match at 4 points apiece. Drama to build here in Myrtle Beach. That's another good forehand from Ekholm. Didn't look too pleased with it, but she got the point.
Ekholm's doing a great job with the placement and the change of spin. That time she got there a little bit late.
Frank Arias has a ton of confidence in Matilda Ekholm. 41 years old, played a lot of table tennis in her career. And I wouldn't be surprised, Sean, if when it comes to the Golden Game, and we see Frank purposefully match Matilda up with one of the male players in the other team just because he believes that that'll give them an advantage. I think he feels like they're 3-0 in Golden Games. Obviously Gorak's success, but also Ekholm's ability to play, and it's 11-5 win in game 2 after they lost 11-6 in game 1. And we will go to a rubber game here in doubles.
Yeah, so again, in the doubles competition, the orders change every game. So having a mixed doubles, you'll have the male play against the male, and then the next game the male will play against the female. So that's why you'll often see some discrepancies in the scoring. Once one team gets to 5 here in the final game, that'll switch to even it all out. So look for Anglaise's team from Carolina. They're going to fight as hard as possible to get to 5 first so they have some breathing room before they get into this tougher order for them to play. But right now, both teams, again, playing big shots, going for heavy spins. You can see the placement that Ekholm is doing has just really put so much pressure on Carolina.
Yeah, there's some of these shots where I feel like it can be tough for someone who has played a lot of table tennis to gauge the spin, especially if you're watching on TV, when you see like a player swing and miss. But like that's, I mean, how can you put that spin in the difficulty of that shot? Because these players don't just swing and miss.
Yeah, think of another sport, it would be like maybe being off the green, using a driver and bringing it back. I mean, they're putting so much spin on the ball. Balls are going up to, on some of their shots, 5,000-6,000 revolutions per minute, about 130, 140 per second. It's not on every shot, but yeah, we're the one racket sport that really wins the battle with the spin.
Good start for Anglais and Lin here in game 3.
And they know they need to jump out quick. They want to get that 5 change of end, the biggest lead possible, going into the tougher combination. Very smart play by Ekholm, not looping it to Anglais' backhand, but more into his body, force him to have to lift that ball and send it long.
If she went to his backhand, it would have been easier for him to attack.
He could have played a clean backhand without moving his feet. So everyone on the table realizes that if you can jam the opponent, you're not going to see their best shot.
So far, all 5 points here in this third game have been won by the team that has served.
I feel the intensity has risen a couple of notches here.
You know, Ekholm would like to have that one back.
They would. So 4-2. As you said, they will switch sides, switch the order when they get to 5. The difference of getting to 5 at 5-2 versus 5-4 could be huge.
A little bit like the Golden Game. You want to get that advantage as early as possible.
Gorak looking at that racket, wondering why it betrayed him.
Yeah. And Ekholm touched her temple, saying, why did I loop it out to his forehand to give him the heavy side spin back? Should have played it more into the body. Wouldn't have had the angle to hook it back and produce a lot of side spin. So right now, the order is favoring Crocs, but lead is favoring Carolina.
Big point for the Crocs there. Get back within 2. As the serve goes back to the Gold Rush.
Look for Enzo Anglais to play a lot more offense right now.
Crocs within 1.
Great backhand over the table, and then another backhand by Ekholm.
Before each of these points, everyone just kind of bouncing around, focusing, feel the intensity.
Oh, Hong Lin's forehand looked good, but Gorax was that much better.
And you could just see the pair getting mixed up with the position. Anglais over, not quick enough to run down. That super angled backhand by Daniel Gorak. That time Anglais gave Ekholm a little bit of side spin into the body that she wasn't able to get her body around.
Good looping forehand from Ekholm.
Very smart. Just loaded up the spin. Nice placement out to the forehand side. Lin needed to take that off the bounce to smash it. Just couldn't time it.
So from 5-2 to 6-all, who you got here, Sean? You think the Crocs still have the edge?
Yeah, Crocs definitely in the order. Ekholm giving Hong Lin a lot to work with. But Hong Lin delivers a nice forehand smash.
There's a wicked spin serve from Anglais to Ekholm. Not much she could do with it. Hong Lin did not miss. Frank Arias is taking a timeout. First timeout of the day used by the Crocs, with their team trailing 7-6 in Game 3, the rubber match of this doubles battle.
And again, Ekholm getting that first spin in off of a deep serve, but Lin jumping right on top of it, just smashing through it, backing Daniel Gorak off the table. Interesting to see two players getting coached by two different coaches there. And then with the Crocs, it's a lot more all to one from a team perspective.
Seeing a lot of different styles from the coaches across the league through the first month of the season. A lot of different ways to be effective as a coach. Some of it is tactical, some of it's emotional.
Of course, how you line up your golden game team.
That might be the biggest factor. Out of the timeout, one serve for Anglais.
They went big. Anglais served deep, giving Lin a chance to make the quick hit off the bounce, but Ekholm added enough spin to send it off the end.
7-7.
You can see Anglais, how happy is he to make those returns. Crocs are just sending powerful shots. Somehow
You can see in the body language of all these players how much this single game means. With a team match tied, with this doubles match tied, bragging rights. And a good serve for Ekholm generates the fist pump.
And she's just changing the spin so slightly. Sometimes giving it, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, a 7, then a 7.5. Just a small change is enough to make that ball go into the net. Oh, Gorak going for way too much. Don't need to be a hero when you have a partner like Ekholm standing next to you. Work the point.
9-8 Carolina. Let. This assistant umpire has been a stickler for the ball toss so far today. There's a off the net let. Just allowing the intensity to crescendo.
Oh, Enzo Angles unloads on the forehead to set up game point for Carolina.
I thought that attack by Gorak was going to score. Just a perfect backhand over the table. And again, Angles spinning himself around to hit the winner down the line.
Like Spider-Man with his
Exactly.
body.
Where's the table?
Gorak serving. Crocs got to have it.
And it's off the table. Ekholm flips the paddle in frustration. Carolina takes 2 out of 3 in doubles. A great match between these two duos.
Again, the offensive play of Enzo Angles continues to drive Carolina to the lead.
Angles now overall in the MLTTs 10-2 in singles. He's 8-4 in doubles. Alex Yang getting his money's worth by putting Enzo in the lineup. He's producing day in, day out.
And you can see the smile on his face. He's just playing the big points so well, mixing it up, never afraid to go for the big forehand. But at the same time, what angles, just really incredible.
Rejoined by Enzo Angles. Enzo, a couple big shots late in that match. Sean was just saying you play the big points so well. What is it about your playing style, your career, that has put you in position to excel when the pressure is at the highest point?
Because I love it.
Why?
Because I try to play I play to win and not lose. So no, I think it's in this kind of moment we can enjoy, because it's by trying things that we will be able to win. And I know, especially in the double, if I just give to the opponent, it's difficult. So I have to play first ball hard. That after Onglin can also play her own game, right? So that's it. But it was fun. It was very, very hard again, but it was fun.
My question is, the more you play with Hong Lin, are you feeling more and more comfortable of what she's likely to do so she can set you up? Because it seems like she plays traditional, just quick hitting off the bounce, doesn't give you a lot to work with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the main driver, so I have to take the responsibility. And then after, yeah, I need to put her in the good conditions that she is able to play properly right after, because otherwise it's difficult. And I know she's very afraid as well. So I try to be here for her, to make her have fun and to make her smile. So that's how we can play quite well, let's say. For the moment, not so good, but quite well.
Enzo, I compared your maneuverings to Spider-Man when you had that lefty forehand winner and you're kind of down on the ground. Are you okay with that comparison?
Yeah, I'm okay. Can be worse, yes.
Okay. Thanks, Enzo.
You can keep that one. See you.
All righty. So Angles helps the Crocs eke back in front. They lead 5-4 overall as we shift back to singles. And this third singles match features Jeremy Hazin and Benjamin Brossier. Brossier, the 29-year-old Frenchman, competed in the 2016 Olympics in Rio. And he was a big energy guy in Daytona Beach for the Crocs.
He plays with so much energy, and he's often off the table, almost in a matrix type of movement we saw with Anglais as Spider-Man. But Brossier, he loves to step around, especially off the table. So you'll constantly see him playing forehands all the time. Now he's chopping, and here comes that forehand that sets him down onto the ground. Hazin on the other side, he will be up at the table, very methodical, moving the ball around, just keeping it in play. Not a lot of power, but a lot of placement.
Rio start for Hazin, a Canadian, also former Olympic experience, played for Tokyo 2021. And as you told me, Sean, it's incorrect to say former Olympian, right?
Once, always.
Once an Olympian, always an Olympian.
So we got two Olympians out there right now.
Brossier with a big forehand there. Rio down, he's back within one.
Jeremy is also a current student at NYU.
It's always fun to see two new players come to the table to begin a three-game match. And this stage of the team match, you know, the teams have gone back and forth, seen the ebbs and flows in intensity, and yet these two guys have just been waiting. I mean, for almost 90 minutes since the table tennis began for their opportunity to make an impact, and you kind of see that effervescence overflowing right now on both sides of the table.
There's
Good
that's
point by Hazin.
Wow, he was able to pick that ball up off the bounce. Brossier, again, somehow got that forehand into play. But Hazin said he wanted nothing to do with that, and as he sent a winner the opposite direction.
Who is your pick in this match, Sean?
You know, I just really love the full court dynamics of Benjamin for the Crocs. I just love that he moves the ball around. Ooh, great fight, great attitude. And then I also like NYU, a strong team, always in the collegiate national championships. Jeremy has won numerous titles. It's always fun to be around.
It was something of a non-answer, but it seems
That
like
was
you're
my
leaning toward Benjamin.
Yeah, that was my best non-answer. I just love that we have different matchups this time. Getting the top two with Daniel Gorak and Enzo Anglais, and then Ojo and Kai got a great mixed double, so this just continues the streak of tight matches. Completely different styles of play. Hazin just stays up at the table, keeps it in play. Brossier all over the court trying to get his forehand to land.
Hazin went for the big return. 7-all now as he gets the serve back.
And Hazin will tell you he's not a power player. He goes, I like to move it around. I like to keep my opponent off balance. Even there, he high ball to the forehand, but instead of going for a finishing blow, plays it well into the elbow, into the middle of the table, almost freezing his opponent. And there, Brossier just keeps getting one more forehand into play. When you think you've got a ball to his backhand side, he runs around and gets another one.
8-all, opening game here in third singles. You could accuse certain players of holding in their emotions. can't accuse either of these guys of that. They let it hang out there.
Great job by Hazim to hold the table. Again, Brassier running all over the court to get his forehand into play.
Brassier's got to have this one.
Unbelievable point. Hazim takes it. It looked like Brassier was going to turn his legs into a pretzel. I mean, I don't know how he kept his feet.
He's picking it up off at knee level and then turning his body to keep the forehands into play. And Hazim just not giving an inch.
There's some footwork early in the point where it literally looked like he was going to go down. And Hazim takes it 11-8.
You can see the happiness on Hazim's face. He knows each point is critical with these number 1 and 2 teams in the Eastern region.
11-8. It felt closer than that.
And Jeremy just jamming the serve into the body. Brassier trying to go for a wide angle out to the forehand to open it up. Hazim extremely pleased with his performance.
Hazim, 23 years old, from Ontario, Canada. Competed in the Senior World Table Tennis Championships. He was 13 years old. He was the youngest Canadian ever to do that. Started playing at a local table tennis club when he was 8 years old. Brassier is a little bit older, 29, from Paris. Getting some coaching there from Ojo. Pretty good rallies in this opening game here, Sean. I mean, what are the coaching points and tactical adjustments Brassier can make? There's the time where he almost fell down.
Yeah, really, I think what we saw Ojo giving tips to Brassier about is just stay up to the table a little bit more. Don't go so far back where the angles get extreme.
See if he can implement that here in game 2. Hazim with a powerful forehand to take the opening point. (2-0) lead for Jeremy.
And Brassier made a great backhand attack over the table on the serve return, but Hazim just waiting for it. Net serve. It does look like Brassier is staying a little bit closer, playing more short balls to get into the rally. Oh, that was a nice combination there by Hazim. Slow backhand opening and then a quick one right off the bounce. That serve got away from Jeremy.
3-2. Oh, Brassier.
And there's another one. You can see Jeremy talking to himself. He knows he has to keep that serve shorter. If that ball goes off the end of the table, anyone here in MLTT will just finish the point. Forehand topspins are that strong.
3-all here in game 2.
Good placement by Hazim, moving Brassier around, playing wide out to his forehand.
We're gonna mic up Jeremy Hazim one of these matches. He is a chatterbox out there. Inner monologue
When
with
he
himself.
All right, when he goes back for coaching, he talks more than the coach generally, so
4-5.
very experienced. And again, when you play that type of style where you keep it in play and you don't just go for a big shot, got a lot of different looks that you can choose from.
And he had some big shots there, but not big enough to put it away. And eventually Brossier creates the error.
See Jeremy shaking his head, always acknowledging a good shot by the opponent. Oh, nice combo there.
7-4.
Again, Jeremy kind of giving him a little bit of a thumbs up.
Big point there for Hazin. He's back within 2.
7.
Point of the match.
It doesn't get better than this. Hazin staying right up on top of the table, taking balls off the bounce, getting chops from Brossier. Oh, nice deep push there by Brossier. Most of the time they'll return the serve short. That time Brossier went for a very aggressive deep return.
Brossier trying to inch closer here on his serve to a Game 2 win. 9-6 now for the Frenchman.
9.
Solid offense there. Nice tight short serve. Redirects the forehand for the winner.
And now game points coming up here for the Crocs.
To even up this singles match, 1 game apiece. Hazin fights one of them off. Quickly right back to the table. Serving 7-10. Well, that's game.
11,
Brossier
7.
evens up this third singles match with an 11-7 win in Game 2 over Jeremy Hazin.
Just a great job by Brossier, staying a little bit closer to the table, getting offense going, putting more pressure on Hazin. Forehand flip, good positioning. Hazin just goes long to the middle of the table.
So Coach Ojo back to work over there with Frank Arias. The rest of the Crocs. Florida excited to get Daniel Gonzalez onto the table for the first time in Major League Table Tennis this weekend. He's not in the lineup today, but we'll see Gonzalez tomorrow. He was the 3rd round draft pick for Frank Arias. Benjamin Brossier was the 5th round pick. He's even at 1 game apiece here after that 11-7 win moments ago. Who has the edge here going into Game 3, Sean?
I think you have to look at the momentum from Game 2, and Brossier did a much better job of keeping the pressure on Hazin. Hazin still made some great points, the point of the game and of the match. Hazin took those. It looks like Brossier's kindly finding his rhythm, getting Hazin to have to go outside of his. There's a nice backhand down the line to start off Game 3.
1-0.
And Hazin just stands there. He just is blocking these big forehand attacks back without any difficulty moving the ball around. That's a big mistake there.
1.
Hazine has to make his opening shots.
Hazine catches a break.
2.
Big point. Oh, well done. Hazine wins both points on Brossier's serve there to even this third game up at 3.
Again, Brossier just fighting to get that forehand in, but off the table, giving Hazine a lot more angle to work with.
Brossier trying to fire himself back up. He was in a tough spot lunging for that ball. Was fortunate that didn't catch. Oh, Brossier again with a little forehand pluck on a shot that looked like it could have been a winner.
And he's doing a much better job of going toe-to-toe with Jeremy Hazine. When he's backing up, that's when Hazine really gets the angles. When he's up at the table, he's able to put something behind the ball. An excellent block there by Hazine.
5. 4.
This third singles match has been tight the whole way. No different here in game 3. Oh my.
That is a great forehand rip by Benjamin Brossier.
Seemingly out of nowhere, he just goes boom. Seven 4 now for Brossier.
7.
Must-win point for Hazine with the serve.
Feels like it. My goodness. Hazine wins the point. He needed to win it. And these two players putting on a show for these fans.
I mean, this is top 10 MLTT action right here. Just both players off the table, delivering body blows.
We got a long weekend of table tennis ahead. Don't preemptively call something top 10. There's a lot of points to come. It's a high standard to make that top 10 each week.
Heavy underspin serve.
5.
Did it catch Hazine off guard, do you think?
I think Hazine just misread it a little bit, thinking it didn't have as much. Tried to go forward, caught the net.
Another point for Brossier on his serve.
9.
And that's exactly what Jeremy Hazine doesn't want to do. He doesn't want to be trying to launch winners off of deep serve returns. Look
Oh,
at that
caught the
one.
edge.
What an angle.
9.
Another
Again
edge.
catching the edge. 9-5, 2 edges, makes it 9-7. The serve back to Brossier. Got to put those edges out of his mind and focus on this serve right here.
Net serve.
Well done by Hazine.
Just continues to make offensive returns off the serve.
Timeout, Florida. 3 straight points for Jeremy Hazine here in this rubber game of this third singles match. Carolina with a 6-5 lead overall in the team match.
And again, Hazine, when he picked up that serve, the placement right into the body. Excellent play. Smart position.
9-8. Brossier with one more serve here.
A good time for a timeout is whenever you think it will change the outcome of the match. So, in this specific
More timeouts for the Crocs until the Golden Game. Carolina has one more it could use prior to the Golden Game. Each team gets one timeout in the Golden Game.
and those points at the start of that Golden Game, when it's Golden Game, everyone here.
The fact that it's 6-5 right now means regardless of what happens the rest of the way in singles, the winner of the Golden Game is going to decide who wins this team match. But again, every point matters. It's not wins and losses in the standings, it's total team points. Florida's 3-0, but second in the standings to Carolina from a points perspective. Brossier back on the serve. And that's well done.
Great serve and follow. Hazine tried to keep the serve back low, popped up. Brossier just took it for the winner.
Game points here for Brossier and the Crocs. 2 serves though for Hazine, trying to stay in it. It's over. Benjamin Brossier drops the first game but takes the next 2 to even up this team match. 6 points apiece here in Myrtle Beach. That was a tremendous singles match.
Both players just played awesome. I thought I counted 2 potential top 10 points. Hazine, excellent play, good position, but Brossier, just more fight, more body position.
One more singles match. Let's see, we got a relative newcomer. What's your name?
Joined now by Benjamin Brossier down by the table. Benjamin, congratulations on getting 2 out of 3. A lot of long, intense points there. What was it like battling Jeremy, and how did you get it done?
First of all, thank you for your congratulations. It was not easy because he has a block game and it's not my type of player. And also to play the first match of the weekend, it's never easy. So you have to fight every point, even if you are not playing the level you expected. So I was happy to find solution after the first set to come back in the game and finish to win the match at the end.
So last week when you lost the first 2 games to Kai Jung and then you fought back to take game 3 to give your team an extra point, just the opposite this time. He wins the first, but then you fight back to help your team take 2 more points. How did that feel finishing the game?
Yeah, that's still good to finish on a victory. You know, it's better to win 2-1 than to win the third set like last week. But it was really important match, I think, this match, because on the paper I'm supposed to be better player, so also the pressure were on my shoulder. But as I said at the beginning, he has a difficult game for me, so it was not easy to adapt. So I was really happy with the solution I had today to be able to win this match.
Yeah, games aren't decided on paper, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Timeout was called at 9-8 in
Yeah.
that third game. What do you talk about with your coach and teammates?
I think it was smart to do a break because he was coming back in the game. I was leading before that, and we just talk about calming down. Then we talk about the point that is coming to stay like balanced between my backhand and my forehand, and how I will serve, what I will do behind, and just keep going. Yeah.
How much fun you having, Ben?
Yeah. How much fun did I have?
Yeah.
Actually, not so much in this match, but yeah, I'm also proud that I was able to win this match in difficult conditions like this, and for sure I'm having fun being here with you guys this weekend, and I'm sure the next matches will be nice and fun to watch.
Great to see you again. Thanks so much,
thank
Ben.
Thank you guys.
Benjamin Brossier takes 2 out of 3 from Jeremy Hazin, and we will shift right into the fourth singles match that will precede the Golden Game. We are tied 6-all. Who will have the lead heading into the Golden Game? Will it be Florida or Carolina? That is up to Marc Duran and Roman Lawrence. Duran to serve. Duran takes a 1-0 lead.
1-0.
Marc Duran struggled in singles. Another part of that was he went up against Enzo Angles.
Exactly.
Lost 3 to Enzo at 1-5 in singles overall. Lawrence gets on the board there. Ron went 6-3 in singles in Daytona Beach, but he struggled in the Golden Games.
And that backhand that Marc Duran just did, that is his trademark shot. It's a backhand punch. He brings it out anytime he gets a soft or a slow opening to his backhand side. He'll go for a quick winner. Boom, just one more right on top of it. If you're going to open up, go to the middle, go to the forehand. Don't go to the backhand. Loren super patient with Duran on the backcourt, just keeping it in play, throws in a chop, but Lorenz continues to go wider and wider.
Who's your pick in this singles match? I know you expected it to be close.
Yeah, I really thought that knowing these teams are so balanced that it would come down to this one. Shot making, Duran has the slight upper hand, but Lorenz plays great placement. He moves the ball around. He doesn't take a lot of risks, so it's really going to be whoever can come up with the big shots at the end of the game.
Go! 5-3.
Two players feeling each other out right now. 5-4, Duran leads. To recap the team match so far, Enzo took 2 out of 3 from Daniel Gorak. And Ojo Onaolapo took 2 out of 3 from Kai Zhang. Angles and Lin won 2 of the 3 doubles games against Gorak and Ekholm. And then Brossier winning games 2 and 3 to come from behind against Jeremy Hazin. And that's 2 wins for Carolina, 2 wins for Florida. Each team has exactly 6 points. It would be poetic for Marc Duran to win this point. Be 6-6 and 6-6. But Roman Lawrence says, I don't care much about poetry.
And he's doing a really nice job of getting that forehand into play. Like we saw with Brossier, wanting to force his favorite shot. A little bit more balanced than Brossier. He doesn't get jammed so much. But really good court presence, moves the ball around. Look for Durant to try to finish the point, especially on his backhand side.
finish there. Duran down the line. 7-all.
Lorenz went for a great re-loop into the backhand, but Duran just sitting there waiting for the ball. And that's a risky serve. Duran's backhand is so lethal. Just jumps on top of that reverse pendulum serve and plays it down the line.
Both players flying around.
They played the white lines of both sides of the table, nothing in the center, just super angles, till finally Lorenz takes it down the line with his forehand. Oh, beautiful step around by Duran. He has a great backhand, but his forehand is still strong.
And Duran with authority makes it game point for the Crocs.
Duran's just trying to get the serve back on the table, just picks it up and quickly Duran finishes it with one shot, one forehand rip.
Must hold points on his serve here for Roman Lorenz.
That's it. Game one goes to Florida. Mark Duran takes it 11-8.
Just big points at the most incredible, important part of the game right now. Forehand loop, Duran just punches it back with the forehand, jumps onto offense to deliver his own forehand attack for the point.
High-level table tennis from Mark Duran. 37 years old. Celebrated his birthday earlier this week. Originally from Barcelona, Spain. And he's had some success in his home country. 12-time Spanish champion, 8-time doubles, 3 times in singles. He was not pleased to go 1-5, you would think, in the first MLTT weekend in Daytona Beach.
You can just see this backhand plus a forehand so strong, giving Lorenz more than he expected. Lorenz is going to have to play bigger offense to even up this match.
Alrighty, game 2. Lorenz to serve.
Strong start.
I'm sure the teammates and coach Alex said, gotta go on the offense. Make sure you place the ball away from the backhand on that opening shot.
Points on his serve, and Lorenz has the early lead here in game 2.
After dropping game 1.
That's a great forehand by Duran.
Feels like Duran is going for the corner and drilling.
It's one speed. It's everything or nothing.
Nothing there.
So Lorenz with a 3-1 lead as he gets the serve back. Table tennis, things can change quickly, can't they?
Very quickly. Oh, that was a great change-up. Faked the short return and then quickly went for the forehand flip out to the forehand side. Presented an open racket and then just went for the forehand winner. As you said, Evan, things can change rather quickly, and Mark Duran starting slow in game 2. Oh, what a shot down the line. Forehand fading. Great third ball attack off of the opponent attacking your serve.
Duran has flipped this middle game around.
That's 5 points in a row now for Mark Duran.
And these aren't just control attacks, these are finishing blows. He's going for broke.
That's the 5-0 run, makes it 6-4.
Sean, when you're out on the table playing, competing at the highest level, how much are you thinking about the score? And how much is it just try and play every single point?
It's a battle for everyone. You'd like to think about every point individually, but sometimes if you have a lead, you can force your opponent into playing bigger shots than they need to. So you've got to be aware of it on both your side and on their side. Not go for too much, but at the same time, be patient, work the point, and try to get your strengths into play.
And I asked the question because Lorenz with a 3-1 lead with 2 serves in his pocket and a chance to really create some separation and change the momentum, and now he's down 8-4. It's a 7-1 run the other way.
You have to be able to stop and adjust. If you ever lose 2 points in a row, a trigger has to go off in your mind to slow things down or to change it up. You cannot allow a 4 or 6 point run to occur.
Obviously easier said than done.
Right, and it's sometimes just changing the timing, sometimes it's changing positioning. Just being in good enough shape that you can make multiple ways of winning the point.
Duran with a 9-5 lead.
Now he's got game points to take a 2-0 lead, and this would guarantee Florida the edge heading into the Golden Game.
Oh, almost made that one. But I remember after the first combine, the talk was Mark Duran is, maybe it was even the second one, how strong he was. And all the coaches wanted to get him. And then in Daytona, he didn't seem to deliver. But today, wow. He's on fire. Hitting winners on demand.
Couple game points saved. Lorenz with one more serve here. Trying to stay in this game.
Net serve.
Duran takes it, 11-7.
Big shots are landing. Duran doing a lot of misdirections at the last second, forcing Roman Lorenz just to play from the backcourt the entire game. So strong.
Think about it. Florida now with an 8-6 lead. And what that means for this team match is that the Crocs will have the edge in the Golden Game. It'll either be a 1-0 lead to start or a 3-0 lead to start.
And I think, Evan, going into this Golden Game, the way the Crocs are playing with big points, going for, I think Daniel Gorak's going to play very strong. Matilda is always a player who can bring the ball back, but also has great finishing attacks.
And all 5 players that we've seen playing singles and doubles will be playing singles. They'll determine the order with the coaches coming together, and it's a big part of the strategy and the coaching.
And then going back to thinking Ojo and Rossier, everyone is playing so big right now.
the other kind of side piece to where we are right now, and obviously the Golden Game is going to determine everything. At this exact moment, the overall team standings, Florida, who came into the day trailing Carolina by 1 in the standings, now has a 48-47 lead for the top spot in Major League Table Tennis. Duran's in the zone right now.
He's just firing on all cylinders. Doesn't matter what Lorenz does. Duran is just counterattacking at will. Mixing it up again. Looks like he's going to go short, cuts it deep. Looks like he's going to play a deep ball, goes the other direction.
Mark Duran looking like a man on a mission right now. 5-0 here in game 3. Alex Yang has a timeout if he wants to use it, but not sure what to say right now to cool off Mark Duran. To let. Duran doesn't want to be slowed down. Got a practice serve in. Here we go. And he wins it with a service ace. Duran's just kind of looking down at his paddle and his feet as if to say, what do I have to do?
And again, Duran just running around the corner to get a forehand attack in.
Seen 11-1. We have not seen 11-0. And Lawrence ensures he will not be the first in MLTT history to get skunked. Did see a comeback from 8-0 down on the West Coast.
Oh, what a great counterattack off the bounce by Duran.
Bouncing around like a heavyweight fighter right now.
And he just
Nasty.
flip killing the serve. And it's not a bad serve. It's just no matter what Duran is touching, it's working.
9-2. Lawrence gets it back within 6 at 9-3, but 2 serves here for Duran. Trying to close out this 3-0 sweep. It would be the first 3-0 sweep of the day. My goodness.
Jeez, just taking it off the bounce. Zero hesitation.
Game point. Mark Duran, a man on a mission, sweeps Roman Lawrence to put the Crocs in the early advantage heading into the Golden Game.
And just complete offensive annihilation here, going for everything and everything working. Attacks, counterattacks, serves, serve returns. Duran just really pulling out all the stops.
So rather than chat with Mark Duran, we are going to zoom in on the coaches meeting here as the commissioner and founder of Major League Table Tennis, Flint Lane, meets with Alex Yang and Frank Arias to determine the order of the Golden Game.
So the way this is going to work is each team sends their coach up to talk to the commish. See that guy right there in the red and black shirt? That's Flint Lane. You're pretty familiar with him?
Go, coaches.
No way, you stalk him on the internet? You follow him on Instagram? Well, that's weird. I'm going to keep you. Nope, don't even try to make eye contact. That just breaks the whole cyber relationship
Coach,
you have.
come on, coach.
Okay, cool. You're related to him. How are you related to him?
speaking, I'm just an ant.
Ready? But not technically speaking. This gets weird. What are you not technically, ants, Aaron?
Coach's Golden Game. Carolina Gold Rush.
He's your brother's stepson. I see. Things just got a little bit technical.
Carolina is behind.
What's that? Step ants. Step ants. I don't like hearing the word step and ant in the same sentence because it's dangerous for one of them usually. So right now what's happening is Coach Alex Young for Carolina Gold Rush, your very own, and Coach Frank Arias of the Florida Crocs are discussing the order. On the Golden Game scoreboard, you'll see right now they're going to pick their players. So the first player to be picked will only play 1 point.
Honglin first.
Honglin is going to be that player for Carolina Gold Rush, the pen holder with short picks. That
Will
means
be the
Crocs
two
get
ladies
the
going
next
head-to-head.
two picks.
Second player.
So every multiple of 4 points on the scoreboard,
Daniel Gorak is
they
your
will bring
second
in
player.
a new player and they will rotate until one team has
Who are you
21
opposing
points,
Daniel
win by
Gorak with?
1. 2020
Enzo
would
Anglais.
be the ultimate golden point. We haven't had one
Who's your
yet
third
this
player?
season. So Honglin and Matilda Ekholm will come in with Matilda
Jeremy Hazen
Ekholm
is your-
with a 3-0
Jeremy Hazen
lead.
is your
They'll each
third
play
player.
1 point. Then it'll be a
Who are you
total of
opposing
4
Jeremy with?
points played or on the scoreboard. So the next 2 will come in and play 4 points. It'll either be 2-2,
Benjamin
3-1,
Rossier. And who's your
or a
fourth?
golden sweep, 4-0 in
Mark?
4 points.
Or Ojo?
The matchups are random. You can see them here. The order Honglin and Matilda Ekholm. After
Mark
that,
is your
Enzo
fourth.
Anglais will be battling
Making
against
Ojo your
Daniel
fifth.
Gorak. A repeat of the
Who is your
first match,
fourth?
A player versus A player. Then it'll be Jeremy Hazin and Benjamin Brosier once
Kai
again.
or Roman?
And then it is Mark
Kai is your
Duran,
fourth.
who will be playing against your own
Making Roman
Carolina
your
Gold
fifth.
Rushian, Cobra Kai Jong.
Okay, again,
Which means
Crocs
Ojo
start with a 3-point
Onolamo
lead.
will be
You
playing
will be serving
none other
first,
than
and then we'll be
Roman
rotating.
Lorenz.
Good luck. Shake
So
hands.
this gets really exciting.
So the Golden Game order has been set. Hong Lin and Matilda Ekholm will get the Golden Game started. They'll each play 1 point. Enzo Anglais, Daniel Gorak, that's a rematch of singles where Enzo took 2 out of 3. Brossier and Hazim were also singles adversaries, with Brossier taking 2 out of 3. We do get a little bit of a flip with this time in the Golden Game. Kai Jong will battle Mark Duran, and Roman Lorenz will face Ojo Onolamo. What do you think of the matchup, Sean?
I think right now with the momentum for the Crocs, but the lineups, we're going to just have to see how both teams come out with that 3-0 lead for the Crocs. If Crocs can build on it, I love the fact that the ladies will be playing each other. Again, different styles. Ekholm plays off the table, lefty, lot of spin.
No one was better than Daniel Gorak in the Golden Game in Daytona Beach. Hong Lin versus Matilda Ekholm to get this Golden Game started. They got 1 point. Crocs have a 3-0 lead. And Hong Lin gets Carolina on the board.
Now the top 2 men.
Yes, indeed. Enzo in Golden Games was 10-5. Gorak was a ridiculous 17-4. The top 2 picks in the 2023 MLTT draft going head-to-head when it counts most.
And you can see Gorak, he knows the importance. Every point matters.
Gorak now 19-4 in Golden Game points. Anglais trying to turn the tide here on his serve. What a point! Enzo Anglais finally puts it away.
Okay, so that's the first top 10 point. What a series of attacks and
stakes of it too. I mean, Angles needed it for his team. And that's a 2-2 split. Both players score twice on their own serves.
Angles just getting it done for Carolina.
Here comes Brossier and Hazin. They played the third singles match. Every game was close. Brossier took 2 out of 3. But that doesn't mean he enjoyed it. He'll enjoy that.
Great shot to the wide forehand.
So far in MLTT, teams that begin the Golden Game with a lead are 8-4.
Hazin with a nice opening loop off of Brossier's serve.
Of course, Florida has twice come from behind in the Golden Game to win.
I just like Florida's shot making. They play big shots. We've got even more power coming up with Duran and then Ojo. Hazin, excellent play.
Yeah, so Hazin splits 4 points with Brossier. Now we see a new matchup. Kai Jong versus Mark Duran.
Jong's going to have his hands full here with how Duran played most recently.
But my goodness! Jong says Mark Duran's going to have his hands filled with me.
You want to see a backhand. Check this one out.
And the shorty didn't work out. Duran puts it away. 2 serves here for Jong. A 2-point game in the Golden Game. Everything hanging in the balance.
A nice little flip by Duran, but Kai Jung completely ready for it. Delivers a wonderful forehand loop.
Kai Jong takes 3 out of 4, and we are tied 8-all. Final players for each team before we restart the sequence. Roman Lawrence for Carolina. Ocho Onaolapo for Florida. Ojo. Power.
Lorenz has just had bombs for the last singles match and now in the Golden Game get directed in his direction. This has just been amazing.
2 straight for Ojo Onaolapo.
Lorenz now with a couple important serves for the Gold Rush.
Ojo with his 3rd straight.
I mean, Lorenz made a great forehand loop. Ojo just says, I can do that one better. He steps around his backhand and hits a winner cross court.
Ojo's now 12-6 Golden Game points.
A great redirect by Lorenz.
Roman avoids the sweep, but still 3 out of 4 for Onaolapo. And back to the top of the order.
So the ladies will go for 4 full points here. But Lorenz, nice job.
What do you think about this singles matchup? These 2 ladies, Hong Lin and Matilda Ekholm.
It's going to really depend on Ekholm's ability to get some offense going. Takes it directly on the serve.
That'll work.
Nice inside out forehand pendulum serve. And that serve bounced off Matilda's racket, not as she expected it, but weird enough to where Hong Lin mistimed it. So Ekholm takes 2, increase the lead by 4.
They needs this one for the 2-2 split. Angles and Gorak Coming up right after this point.
Big point.
Takes 3 out of 4.
Very big point there, just giving some breathing space to the Crocs going into the top 2 players. I'm sure Gorak would be very pleased with just splitting these 2.
They split their 4 points first time around. Oh, it caught the edge. Anglais sells out, but nothing he could do.
Net and edge. Most difficult shot to return in table tennis. Anglais is doing everything he can to run it down. Hopefully he didn't leave too much skin on the ground there.
5-point lead to let. Anglais is probably thinking he needs to sweep these next 3. And he wins that one on Gorak's serve.
Saw him taking his time, just keeping that ball nice and low, not forcing the offense, but looking for the right shot to attack.
Now Enzo serves. Oh, another edge. Nothing you can do about that.
I mean, Enzo played 4 amazing shots. Backhand rip, step around, forehand. And somehow Gorak puts his paddle on the ball and gets a back edge.
Anglais won't make eye contact with his opponent. He was just staring off into the distance in disbelief. Does split the 4, but still a 4-point lead for Florida. Brossier and Hazin coming back to the table. Crunch time here for Carolina. Hazin wins the first point on Brossier's serve. Bouncing around, trying to get his team back into it.
Very smart play by Brossier. Force the offense. Get it out to Hazin's wide forehand. But Hazin has the serve now.
Brossier puts Florida within 3 points of the match, of first place in the division, of an opening night win to this Myrtle Beach weekend. What again? Just the backhand.
Again, going for winners at every opportunity. And now, the 2 biggest power players.
Duran serving, up 18-14. Duran brings Florida within 2 points of victory. Match point now for Florida as their golden game excellence continues. Kai Jong's got to have it. Mark Duran closes it out, and Florida's golden game superiority continues in Major League Table Tennis.
Mark Duran just came up big in singles and in the golden game. Just great attacks, great placement, gets the job done for the Crocs.
Florida takes it by a final score of 21-14 in the golden game and wins the team match 15-6 to surge head and shoulders into first place in the East Division of MLTT. Mark Duran, 3-0 in singles, closed it out in the golden game. And Mr. Golden Game joins us on the headset, the head coach of the Florida Crocs, Frank Arias. Frank, your team had the goods again, and really Mark Duran. Can you speak to what he did both in singles and in the Golden Game to finish it off?
Absolutely amazing. He played today like I've seen him playing back in the days, and he was today he performed really, really great.
What do you think was the difference in the overall team? It seemed like momentum was starting on their side, but then you quickly pulled it away and had everything going for the Crocs.
Yeah, there was some changes in the order of play, so I think it went on our favor.
I mean, after the first game in the third singles match, Jeremy beat Benjamin Brossier. The score was 6-5. Carolina did not score again. Brossier takes games 2 and 3. Duran sweeps, and you win the Golden Game. What swung the momentum?
We keep pushing our players to do their best, so I think that's it. We have the spirit, we fight for it, and we're gonna fight every point.
There wasn't anything too tricky about the lineup in the Golden Game, but it felt like the matchup still went in your favor.
Yep, we discussed previously, and we said that we could do some adjustments, and it worked.
Well, congratulations, Frank, on starting this weekend the same way you started down in Daytona Beach. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. See you tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Frank Arias, the Florida Crocs, into first place in the East Division. They will play in the night match tomorrow, starting at 7:30 Eastern against the Princeton Revolution. Carolina will take on Chicago at 4 p.m. tomorrow. We still got Chicago and Princeton coming up tonight. That'll start in just over an hour, 7:30 Eastern Time, here at the Myrtle Beach Sports Center. Sean O'Neill, your final thoughts as Florida's Golden Game excellence continues.
If this is what we're going to see this entire weekend, you will not want to miss any matches.
Yeah, that's well said. Really exciting stuff. Angles and Gorak going head-to-head, but really every match today was riveting. Jong and Ona Olapo giving us plenty of highlight reel points. Zazine and Brossier as well, and Duran was a buzzsaw. Nothing Angles could do. Gorak and the Crocs had too much tonight. Helps to be a little lucky sometimes as well. Florida over Carolina, 15-6 for Sean O'Neill. I'm Evan Lepler saying so long for now. Chicago and Princeton in about an hour. We'll talk to you then.